Feature bout at a catchweight between a former champion and a current champion, Ray Cooper III and Jason Jackson.
Making their way to the PFL, Smart Cage fighting out of the blue corner, Jason Jackson.
Jason Jackson first on my radar with an upset victory over Ed Ruth. Ed Ruth that come into the sport as a three-time champion out of Penn State under the great Cale Sanderson, but he was really expected, at least by the boys in the locker room, to come in and take over this sport. Jackson said not so fast, but more impressively is he grounded out, something Ruth was good at. More impressively, Jackson controlled position, something Ruth was so good at. But that's when he sprung on the board, and the question became, all right, Jackson, that was a great performance, but can you do it again? He sure did, and again, and again, and now he's the one that stopped Amosov. Amosov was chasing Khabib's 29-0 record. He made it to 27-0, but he really hadn't lost any moments or even rounds. He was that dominant until he ran into Jason. Jason is just good at beating you. This is not a black belt. This is not somebody that came up in the Golden Gloves. This is a very good athlete that got into a very good training situation with very good coaches, including those men that are standing behind him right now. And according to his coaches, better than anyone, he listens. He absorbs things. He remained curious within the sport.
He's riding a 7-fight win streak coming into tonight. A late opponent change. And he knew he was in for it against somebody like Karamov. He knew that Maga could test him. His opponent tonight, though, is someone who's totally different. You can't prepare for Maga the same way you prepare for Ray Cooper III. Will that affect Jason Jackson? We're about to find out in a PFL versus Bellator clash.
And in the red corner, Ray Cooper III.
Ray Cooper III, at his very best, can challenge, and I would say defeat, any welterweight on the planet. Is he at his best tonight? That's the #1 question. We haven't seen his best in some time. He took this fight on short notice. He was already training. He said, yeah, I gotta get down, but I'm getting down to 182. Jason Jackson was happy to take the fight there. His last outing, he came in out of shape and still almost knocked out Derek Brunson off of 1 foot. This guy has explosive power, not the kind that you talk about and you take a picture of. The stuff you have to feel, and it changes your day.
He's able to connect punches from angles and from ranges where they shouldn't be as devastating as they are. On one leg with your other foot above your head to be able to knock Derek Brunson to the canvas with basically an arm punch. You look at the shot against Michaud into the body, beautiful punch. He's just a very, very blessed individual when it comes to punching power.
Here's your tail of the tape for this catchweight bout. Ray Cooper III, 31 years of age, as a 2-time PFL champ. Jason Jackson is 33 on that 7-fight win streak. You can see Jackson, the much taller fighter here, has a reach advantage, 9-inch advantage on the arms, 4-inch longer on the legs.
All right, keys to victory for this one. Ray Cooper, close range with feints. He can't be reckless against Jason Jackson. Varying his punching targets. It doesn't matter what he touches, he's going to damage it. And control with wrestling if he needs to. He has a fantastic wrestling background. He used it earlier in his career. It could be useful here. Jason Jackson fighting at distance. Use those long arms and that speed. Uppercuts and knees. Rising attacks against the shorter guy. And then the counter wrestling is going to be a key, especially if he's having success with his striking.
The voice of our Smart Cage, Andy Shepard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following catchweight contest is a Bellator versus PFL fight, and the winner will earn themselves the Super Belt. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner and representing Bellator. He is an MMA specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 182 pounds and has built a record of 17 wins and 4 losses. He is the reigning Bellator welterweight champion and fights out of Deerfield Beach, Florida by way of Jamaica. He is the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson! his opponent, fighting out of the red corner and representing PFL. He is a boxing specialist and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He went in officially at 182.4 pounds. And in his 35-fight career, has earned a record of 25 victories, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. 23 wins coming by way of stoppage. He is the 2-time PFL welterweight champion and fights out of Pearl City, Hawaii. Brother Ray Cooper III. Your referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Brian Miner draws the assignment for this special catchweight feature. Jason Jackson in the white trunks representing Bellator. Ray Cooper III waving the PFL flag tonight in the blue.
Straight into punching range, Ray Cooper.
Respect. He came right across that cage, didn't he?
The thing is, he knows he has to land one punch to do the damage.
Got to get inside that long reach advantage range of Jason Jackson. 79 inches for the Bellator welterweight champion on the reach.
That's an incredible reach for a welterweight. But at 5'7", Ray Cooper can get right inside that pocket, and he will thrive in that pocket if he can stay there safe. That was a hard low kick, though. You can't take too many of those. That would disable his forward movement.
Cooper's been fighting taller fighters his whole career. This is what he knows. But he can't waste a lot of time against Jason Jackson. That hook just grazed the top of Jackson's head.
These are just such different athletes. Not just fight, they're just different athletes. Like, who's more likely to push a weighted sled across the field? Cooper. Who's more likely to run 10 miles and not break a sweat? Jackson. It's one of these different fights, and they both know it. Cooper knows, I gotta land hard.
Something to watch out for with Jason Jackson. He's very good, and he used it a lot in his last fight, walking his opponent onto an uppercut, allowing them to level change onto a punch. He doesn't necessarily need the same kind of power that Ray Cooper has if he can force him to meet the power as he's moving in.
Great work by Jackson to stay out of the range of that traveling hook from Ray Cooper, and he landed another calf kick in the process.
And look at the bruising on that calf already. It's not even gone to swelling, it's gone straight to bruising.
Dan, I like what you just said. You're maintaining you don't have to hit as hard if you hit the opponent as he's circling in or coming down to something. You're talking about a head-on car wreck. I get it and I like it.
Exactly that. And this is where Jason Jackson's speed comes into play. You know, he's very good with these long-range straight punches, and that's usually what gets people to level change, to dip their head onto the uppercut. He's also got a great knee. Lovely feint on the calf kick. Ray Cooper bit on that, which shows you how much that leg is hurting.
Yeah, already, I think he's landed about 5 of them, starting to affect the lead leg of Ray Cooper III, and you can see Jackson building confidence because of it as he uses that to feint.
The danger, of course, with the calf kick is it's very difficult to throw it and get your head off the center line. Like, you think back to Ray Cooper when he fought Magomed Kerimov, the overhand that he landed was such a short punch. He was able to generate that power. That's a really damaged leg, but
yeah, we're
a cornered animal is a very dangerous individual.
Halfway through round number 1, and Cooper's already in big trouble.
And there's the wrestling. Good defensive work from Jason Jackson, forcing his opponents to wrestle, using good counter wrestling in the knees. This is a great performance from him so far. Nice wrist control there as well, opening up the doorway for the knee to the midsection.
If you watched any of the training videos that Jason Jackson and his camp were putting out, he's been putting in work on the wrestling. Testament to it right there as he gets Ray Cooper III to his back. Less than 2 minutes here in round number 1. I mean, Jackson had Gable Stevenson in the room with them, and they were drilling. Saw him going with Leon Edwards.
Now, this is an interesting problem that I don't think either three of us have had to solve in our career. You've taken some calf kicks, and then you get taken down, so that damaged leg is elevated. As soon as he gets back to his feet, he's going to feel very uncomfortable putting any weight onto that lead leg. Fortunately, they've not invented the calf kick in our day, guys.
That's true. I remember where I was the first day I learned it. I got hit by it by Benson Henderson in a training session.
Oh, and he was the expert. He was the pioneer.
He was the pioneer. It was at Jay Glazer's gym, and he hit me with 3 or 4 of them, and I told him after the workout, you're missing my thigh. You never hit it a single time. He said, your leg hurts, doesn't it? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I meant to do it. That's how I learned it, though. Very interesting what Jackson did there. He turned the head off the fence. I prefer to put the head into the fence, but Jackson apparently wanted some open real estate. He must be thinking about Pat. Look at this. That's old school right there. Just take your hand and smother him.
Nice slide off elbow there as well. They can be very dangerous, very cutting.
Cooper's got the underhook he needs, but he's going to have to unlock his legs and get to a hip if he wants to elevate and get back up. Short elbows here from Jason Jackson on top. And you can see our leg strikes counted up. 11 of 11 have landed for Jackson, and that has been the biggest difference maker in the fight so far for the ass-kicking machine.
Cooper has made a decision that he is going to live to fight another round. He has made a decision, just stay in this one, don't use the energy it requires to get up. Let's run out the clock.
Jackson will try and flurry his way to the end of this round.
Cooper's hurt here, this could be it.
Saved by the bell, Ray Cooper III.
Let's see how he does getting back to his feet here. Oh, that's a heavy leg.
Might have been a miscalculation there from Ray, thinking that he had less time and he could just cover himself up. He ended up eating 8 or 10 strikes in the process.
A really smothering work as well from Jason Jackson. Hands over the mouth, really nasty work. Let's have a look at these calf kicks. Look how keen this comes, lands it right on the outside of the calf as Ray Cooper's lifting that leg. And you can see how timid he is at putting his weight onto it. Very sheepish. Here we go again from another angle. Snaps right into the middle of the leg. Very painful. And that's going to get worse as the fight goes on. That is water in the basement, as Teddy Atlas would say. And here we go, hands together. Short lift, landed on the floor, and then he starts the process of just grinding into his opponent, smothering his mouth, landing those short, choppy elbows, and almost got the finish. 5 more seconds there, and that might have been a TKO in the first round.
Start round number 2 here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Sean O'Connell, Chael Sonnen, and Dan Hardy, cage side. Ray Cooper III, 2-time PFL welterweight champion, is in the blue. This is a catchweight bout against Jason Jackson, who's in the white.
Interestingly, Ray Cooper hasn't changed to his stance to southpaw, which shows 2 things. One, he's, oh dear.
That one took the leg right out from under Ray Cooper. And now the flurry from Jason Jackson, and the ass-kicking machine gets it done in Saudi Arabia.
What a statement that was. Never left himself open to take any big shots from the power puncher Ray Cooper.
Jackson keeps getting better, guys. I mean, I'm just thinking personally, watching his fights, I'm watching the growth of the explosion. People are starting to understand how good he is. They're starting to watch his tapes. He is still pulling away from the field. Finishing Cooper is not an easy thing to do. Cooper got up at the end of the first round. I'm not sure he wanted to. I think he was done fine. I don't think he could stand on that leg, fellas.
Well, you saw the movement was compromised, and so did Jason Jackson. He immediately attacks that leg. And when you're a power puncher, if you can't stand up, the avenues start to shrink on your path to victory.
Yeah. And here's Jackson, I mean, basically just taunting Cooper the whole time to try to get Cooper to engage some grappling. But when he came off of his feet, Jackson knew it's time to smother him. Brian Miner, for the second time tonight, just does an excellent job. This referee does not allow an athlete to take any extra damage. And that's a real timing issue and an expertise. But I gotta say it, as much as this is Jackson's moment, I gotta tell you, Miner gets in there, he protects Cooper to live another day. Sean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Cooper did not have his ideal training camp. He did not have his ideal situation. I don't make an excuse for him. I share that with you because he's never gonna tell anybody that. He's gonna take this on the chin. There's a reason we did this at a catchweight. There's some things that Cooper's going through. He showed up. I hope he helped to get a couple of demons out tonight.
There's a lot going on, but he took this fight. He wanted to come out and compete. He thought he could land the power punch that would change this. Jason Jackson wasn't having any of it. There's your post-fight stats. You can see the activity of Jason Jackson. The leg strikes, he landed 12 out of the 13 he attempted, and those calf kicks. It is the most fashionable and deadly weapon in the sport of mixed martial arts right now, and you can see why. Effectively, Jason Jackson, even though the flurry of punches are what officially ended it, the leg kicks won him this fight. You know, Jason Jackson, he talked to us this week about one of the main drivers. He wanted the super belt, and he just got one. Look at the intensity. Andy Shepard, let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Brian Miner calls a halt to the action at 23 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner via TKO, Jason Jackson! And to help award our super belt, I'm Mike Tyson.
We don't do performance of the night, or MVP is what we called it back in my wrestling days, but I'll tell you what, if we did. Between AJ McKee and what Jackson just did, I mean, this really was a full mixed martial arts demonstration. We saw the punches, we saw the kicks, we saw an understanding of range, we saw IQ, we saw takedowns. Basically, we saw a submission. Even if he did it with strikes, partner, it's still a finish.
It's an incredible finish and another statement victory to make it 8 in a row for Jason Jackson. He wanted the belt, he got the belt, and he also has Mike Tyson to put it around his waist. You see that? He said, where's the ring? Pete Murray has the ring for you, Jason.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool moment. An athlete, a fighter, will put his life on hold. He will sacrifice. He will give up so many things to get a piece of hardware like that. It's a tremendous moment in a fighter's life.
Iron Mike offers his congratulations, as does Don Davis, Ray Sefo, and Dan Hardy has the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Jason Jackson. Have I ever seen a man so happy to receive a belt like that before? You are just glowing right now. That was a big motivating factor for you, wasn't it?
Yes, I just want to thank God, thank my family, thank my team, and thank Ray Cooper, because without him, it wouldn't be no fireworks here.
So tell me about the game plan. Was the calf kick a key to the victory in this? Did you know that coming in?
Well, I knew I had to start fast to get his adrenaline rush and put his cardio to the test. But when I kind of realized that he was scared of the leg kick, I was just like, just stay calm and fake it and let it go when you're ready. But my wrestling is awesome, man.
2 belts, big performances. What's next for you, my friend? How do you prove you're the best welterweight on the planet?
Cedric Dummy, I want you. I want you.
Okay, that is a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your champion, the super champion, Jason Jackson.
Jason Jackson calls out Cedric Doumbé, world kickboxing champion, who has transitioned into mixed martial arts, is headlining a Paris card for PFL Europe next month. A sold-out card, I might say. Jason Jackson knows what he's doing, Chael.
I'm going to interfere with that just a little bit, but you know what? I want to see Cedric just get a couple more reps in. He's coming up, and he's coming up quickly. I just don't know that Jackson is fully aware of the level that he is at. I don't think he's giving himself enough credit. People thought he got lucky against Ruth. They thought it was a one-off against Amosov. He proved tonight against Cooper. 6-minute fight. He won all 6 minutes of it.
Ray Cooper III. Yaroslav Amosov, Douglas Lima, Paul Daly, Neiman Gracie, Benson Henderson. The streak for Jason Jackson continues to build on impressive names.